Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Eden Fractal. We're rejoining after our summer break, and it's been a long time since we played the respective Eden Fractal, and I'm pleased to be here back with Zaal and Tymed and Eric and Tadas. We were just talking about all sorts of exciting fractal ideas, and so you'll hear more about it during the town hall today and during the respect game. But for now, what we're going to do is I'm going to give a little presentation, a little introduction to Eden Fractal, and then we're going to play the respect game, and then we'll have some discussions at Eden Town Hall. So thanks everyone for being here. Thanks all for watching. And if you're not familiar with Eden Fractal, I'm going to give you a little overview as well as an overview of what happened over the break. So we are crossing the impact horizon with some beautiful art, and you can check out the thread from Eden creators with the most recent videos we've shared and the Fractal Impact Concert that Easy and Jose organized over the break. I'll share a little bit about that. And also the new consensus process, or I suppose old new consensus process, the Eden Plus Fractal consensus process that we've been bringing back for that we used that was made 2 or 3 years ago now that we're bringing back now for Eden Fractal Epoch 2, and much more that we'll go over too. We have an implementation plan, and of course our beloved respect game. If you're not familiar with Eden Fractal or what I'm talking about right now, I recommend going to edenfractal.com. Eden Fractal is a community dedicated to optimizing collective decision making through collaborative research, development, education, gamification, and community engagement. Since 2021, the Eden community has been pioneering ways for communities to coordinate that are fair, fast, and fun. Our biweekly events bring together governance leaders and builders to explore better coordination and consensus building systems from theory to practical implementation, and we do a lot of practical implementation at each event. You're welcome to join our events and watch our videos and explore the blog on Eden Fractal to explore fractal consensus processes and how they can help your organization or community thrive. Our vision is that all communities and organizations should have the tools and methods to make the best possible decision making, and all collective decisions should be fast, fair, and fun. Fair, fast, and fun. And our mission is to do this by implementing fractal decision-making processes. You can learn more about the mission and vision and so forth at edenfractal.com, and also about what are fractal decision-making processes. So as a high-level overview, similar to how plants branch out in fractal patterns to maximize growth and resilience, fractal decision-making processes help communities coordinate at any scale effectively by breaking large groups into smaller, more interactive groups, similar to how a tree branched off into smaller limbs. So that creates an environment where every voice matters and decisions scale naturally and coordination emerges from the wisdom of the crowd. You can learn more in our blog, and by joining our events, we often play the Respect game, which is a distillation of game that makes it so people can practice fractal governance and have fun while they're doing it. And we do this at each one of our bi-weekly events that everyone can join, where you play the respect game and you can network with talented builders, governance leaders, learn how to empower your community, and help create a better future for everybody with better decision-making processes. So encourage you to RSVP and also check out our videos. We've published over 125 videos now over the past 3+ years, where you can join the stage and share your thoughts and play your part in a great story. And for some reason, the bottom of the website's not loading correctly. So I'm going to have to fix that, but there's more links to the Telegram group there and other things. You can find enough on the Eden Fractal site right now by exploring the top bar, the navigation bar, and I'll give you a little overview. We recently started Eden Fractal Epoch 2, a new era of collaborative decision making. So in our third year, we have re-kicked off on building on base, building on Ethereum, and starting to play the respect game and doing all sorts of exciting changes. If you've been following along with us for the past 3 or 4 months now or so, you'll be familiar with this, but just a little reminder because we're returning for our first event after the mid-season break. So everyone's welcome to check out here and see who Eden Fractal is for, and the benefits of participating and so forth, and the new things we're doing in Epoch 2, mostly playing respect games on base and Ethereum, and also re-implementing our consensus processes and so forth. Lots of other exciting initiatives you can see there. And of course, you can check out base.org and ethereum.org to learn more about Base and Ethereum and the open stack of the global economy and the leading platform for innovative apps and blockchain networks. All of our videos are published on the edenfractal.com/videos page. We recently released EF 125, Building Abundance, showing how community friendships create the future of coordination, and lots of great contributions were there, as well as you can scroll down and see all the cool stuff we've been up to in Epoch 2 and Epoch 1, going back the past 3 years now. Lots of exciting initiatives we've been making and documenting for your viewing pleasure and educational purposes. And we encourage you to RSVP and invite friends to Eden Fractal. Optimistics is the events calendar where you can register for the events and get weekly reminders about all the cool stuff. And you can subscribe to the Eden Creators YouTube channel, like and subscribe to stay tuned, to stay up to date with all the videos, as well from Eden Fractal, also Eden Town Hall, also Optimism Fractal, and other kinds of communities and shows in the Fractal ecosystem. Some community news I'm going to share here. So I mentioned briefly that the Fractal ecosystem celebrated with the Fractal Impact Concert. A huge thanks to Easy and Jose for co-hosting this incredible gathering that merged beautiful art, music, and governance innovation, as well as everyone who joined too. We heard some great speeches from Zaal. I gave a speech, Will, many others in the community too. So it was a really special time. There's a video from on the Token Smart, NFT Smart channel and the Eden Crazy YouTube channel. There's some great musicians playing there too, such as Philenz over here. And yeah, we had a whole lot of great discussions here. So encourage people to check this out. You can find links in the YouTube description to all this stuff and the show notes as well. So that was a really cool time and amazing to hear from everybody celebrating the Fractal ecosystem and lots of people building really cool stuff. And yeah, I put out this post just a few days ago, welcoming everybody back from summer break, sharing some updates from what happened over the break, and also giving a kind of a preview or an overview about the Eden Plus Fractal consensus process that we're re-implementing, the legislative branch of our governance system that enables democratic decision making through elected delegates and rolling councils. I also published an introductory guide to the consensus process and implementation plan, which will go into maybe during the Eden Town Hall coming afterwards. And there's also an agenda too for the Eden Town Hall where it's kind of just a place where we can have open discussions about the Fractal ecosystem, but also we can briefly talk about the videos and the Fractal Impact concerts and what people did over the break and what people are up to. Zaal and Eric were just sharing some very interesting ideas. So we'll have an open discussion there as well as we'll get into the Eden Plus Fractal. We'll provide a refresher for anybody who's not familiar with this. And actually during today's respect game, we'll also elect a delegate for the first time in quite a while. We'll start to practicing Eden Plus Fractal. Basically, the way it works is that you can, in addition to ranking, so during the respect game, we rank each other's contributions to the fractal ecosystem and to fractals. But in addition to that, we'll also elect a delegate to serve as a decision maker. And that decision maker will collaborate alongside other delegates from future weeks. There'll basically be four councils that will they'll basically be formed over the course of four events, and then we could pass proposals with 3 out of 4 councils approving. So I just opened up this new article I posted on the Eden Fractal blog, Eden Plus Fractal, revolutionizing democratic decision making, where you can see introduction, overview of what fractal democracy is and the role that Eden Plus Fractal plays. And then you can see the basic process of how it works. Basically, at each event going forward, basically we will play the respect game by going into randomized breakout groups of 3 to 6 people. There's a little typo there. And then after ranking each other's contributions 1 through 6, will elect a delegate through consensus, and then that delegate will be asked to attend the upcoming Eden Town Halls, the current one and the one that the next ones for the next 3 events. And then you can see this graph here, this little chart where it shows how during the Eden Town Hall, basically, if there are any proposals that the community wants to make, or we want to change the time, or want to implement this rule, or whatever it may be, then those delegates can work together to approve those proposals or deny those proposals or propose them or anything like that. That's a very high level overview. We'll get into more detail later, but I just want to let everybody know that that's one thing that we're going to be doing at today's respect game. That'll be quite exciting. So we'll do it just like normal, but we'll also choose a delegate afterwards. And you can check out edenfractal.com/plus to learn more about this, and stay tuned for the town hall as well. We also have a Eden Fractal implementation plan that me and Tadas have been discussing too with for anybody who's interested in more of the technical details, we'll get into that in the future. And we have a cool video with Tadas about this when we first launched the Eden Plus Fractal a couple years ago. Tadas is the original proposer of it. This was discussed in the recent Eden Town Hall videos, which was also released as well, along with some other great topics. And we also released the Optimism Fractal 66 respect game, bridging communities too. So I encourage people to watch and enjoy all of these videos on the Eden Crazy YouTube channel, and check out all the events on the Optimistics events calendar. Optimism Fractal will also be returning from its summer break next Thursday at 17 UTC. So I hope to see you all there, as well as the Eden Town Hall today at 18 UTC for anybody who can join. Anyway, this has been a long presentation, but there's been a lot to share, I guess, since over the break. So now everyone here is familiar with the respect game. So what we're going to do, we would go into breakout groups if we had a bunch of people, but right now we're just going to stay in one room. And after I stop sharing my presentation, we're each going to take some turns and speak for about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes if we have time, to share what you've done to contribute to Eden Fractal's mission, to contribute to better coordination, better governance, improving the fractal ecosystem, and so forth. Feel free to share any other introductory thoughts and so forth as well. And then after everybody takes their turn and any questions, then we will work to reach consensus on who helped the most, who helped optimize decision making, and growing the fractal ecosystem the most, and everyone will receive respect if we can reach consensus by the end of the hour, and people who are ranked with higher ranks where they help more will receive more respect. For some reason, again, this article is there's an issue with the websites right now where it's cutting off the bottom of the website. So my apologies for the technical issue, but I think everybody here knows how to play it. And if for anybody's watching, the website issue should be resolved by the time you check this out. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions, share your screen, share any links. We'd love to help promote your work and have fun. Everybody knows the rules here. So we're going to get kicked off with Eden Fractal. And now the floor is open. So thanks all for listening. Thanks all for the applause. And for anybody who wants to go, then the floor is open.
Awesome. I'll go first. What's up, everyone? It's been 3 weeks, so a lot's happened. So I'm probably going to miss a bunch of things. But one of my primary goals, as I had spoken before we started recording, is to find the best way that we can get people into the ZAO Fractal and consistently sharing their contributions. So that's been my thought of the last couple of weeks. I'm currently working on a way to leverage the distribution of X Spaces to bring some of our folks that are on X that haven't had the opportunity to participate in fractals, an opportunity to see what we're all about. We also had the Impact Concert in the last 3 weeks, which was a blast to rock out with Easy and Jose. Really excited for what that will bring in the future, as Easy believes that there's some potential to create Impact Fractal token. So I think there's a lot of cool things that we can do with that. And I hope my audio doesn't move. But in the last 3 weeks, we've been really focused on what ways we can get more folks to contribute to the ZAO. And one of those ways was to create similar to Kajenda's style weighted voting for our priorities in the ZAO. We have 10 to 12 different projects, and some of them had energy at points and moments that don't anymore. So this is going to be the start of finding out what our community wants us to actively work on week to week, and then maybe month to month on a longer term frame. So that's kind of what we're working on. I sent it to the chat there if anyone wants to check it out. Yeah, we're just really focused on continuing to make the ZAO fractals better and better each week. My goal for next week is to be live streaming the fractals to all of our places that we live stream. And hopefully by the time at least the next Eden Fractal comes around, I will have done an X space fractal, and I will hopefully be able to let you guys know how that went. So thank you for giving me the time, and I'm going to shoot it over to Tadas.
Thank you, Zaal. Yes, good to see you all again. Yeah, this week I haven't done not this week during the break, so I didn't do that much. One of the things I did was help Harvesto with his research, and as part of that, I realized that there was a lot of confusion regarding terms about consensus process, consensus mechanism, decision-making process, and so on. Not confusion, just notice that different people use these terms in different ways. Like some people refer to whole respect game a consensus process, some people do not, and so on. And yeah, and since Harvesto is trying to research decision-making processes in fractals, and this became relevant as we were discussing with him. And what I tried to do is try to create basically a terminology or ontology, as it's sometimes called, of coordination. Yeah, and that led me to some interesting philosophical implications about ideas about what constitutes an organization, how it's different from community, the fact that you could have one community acting as multiple organizations, for example, and stuff like that. So I shared the doc in the chat. And yeah, other than that, I was thinking a lot about how to implement Eden Plus Fractal process in these meetings upcoming. Like before the break, I was expecting that a quick solution with ORDAO, which would have enabled us to at least record delegates on chain and maybe even like pass proposals. But yeah, I realized some like I realized there are fundamental challenges in that come from ORDAO design. And that led me to considering alternative solutions, and that's like most of what I've been doing, been thinking about throughout the break. And yeah, so it's yeah, and today I discussed with Dan. I don't know, Dan, can we share that doc?
Yeah, you want me to share the screen, you mean? Or
No, I just mean if you, but I saw
yeah,
you already shared it, yeah, so I would
yeah.
just drop the link.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we had some discussion with Dan about this, and hopefully I will publish my basically conclusions, or at least further ideas for development paths soon. Yeah, so it's like creatively it has been a productive uh, break, but haven't like implementation wise it was not productive. I was also had some other challenges, and took a bit of rest 1 week. Well, not one, but I mean took a bit of time to rest as well. Uh, that's all I think. Uh, Eric, do you want to go next? Eric?
Sure. Sorry, I had trouble unmuting. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So, unfortunately, I had some family business with unexpected death of my sister, so I was doing a lot of estate and property and planning funerals and things like that. But I did manage to close the deal with Startup San Diego, which is the first test case for my doctoral research. In addition to learning how to start new organizations, I've got a very strong focus on how do we implement what we're doing into organizations that have already figured out what they're doing. Because it's very difficult to go in and say, we're going to teach you how to redo everything and do things our way. So how do I put things in that can be integrated what they do in steps and steer them, easy steps that are easy for them to understand and execute. So it's not so much of a big sell. So Startup San Diego has been onboarded. They're in. A lot of that for me has been how do I onboard organizations? Because especially with the doctoral thing, I have to dot all the I's and cross the T's, make sure everything and people have the right expectations and they know what they're getting in for. So I put all those forms and things on the online and went over them with Startup San Diego, got their approval and their help. And so we're at the point now where we're ready to send out an invitation to, they have thousands of people with about a 40% open rate on their list. So I don't know how many will sign up, but we're at that point where we're busy building the invitation. And then the other thing is I need to invite some of you guys and others to come in and test out the training that I'm almost done with. And that's mostly what I've done is, and there's some more thoughts on how do you run and start organizations from scratch, because I'm starting a volunteer group to implement this in, but I can talk about that another time. That's pretty significant too. So we have a TY Med.
Yeah, let's see, go by time. Um, TYMED to teaching young minds every day. I've been doing a few things and trying to prepare for a couple events. One major one is suicide prevention on September 10th that we're doing in Santa Monica, followed by Pasadena Community College 2-day event the weekend of the 12th and 13th, which is like 13th annual suicide prevention event. But when it comes to tech and stuff like that, we doing something on the 30th in Malibu for just onboarding people on base and just trying to get more people to have more understanding of different possibilities, especially when it comes to stuff like sustainability and using platforms like Base and stable coins like Azos Finance. And that's about it.
Interesting. Thank you, Timed. I don't know if I've been mispronouncing it the whole time. Please let me know if I was, if you prefer TY Med or some different pronunciation. If you felt it,
Yeah, no, like time is good, but time is some people call me that, but time is like just kind of that's irreplaceable. That's kind of like that's my company name is Time Inc. I do like clothing line and stuff like that with that, doing like wearables and all that.
oh, very cool. I didn't know that. Well, thanks for sharing. Yeah, and it's cool to hear the things that you're doing to help support base as well as mental health too. I think you said you were contributing to local events. If you want to share any more about that or anything else that you've been up to, I think you only took maybe a minute or so to speak. So if you wanted to speak for a couple more minutes about anything else, then feel free. I'd be very interested to hear if there's anything that you're doing that you didn't share. I'm sure there was. And also, if you did want to try to link it back at all to anything that might help people improve their decision making or governance, if there was anything that you did to help with that, then feel free to share as well. That's not necessary. I mean, just contributing to helping people get on chain, that's a really big um, it's a really big value as is because it helps bring people to the ecosystem where communities like Eden Fractal are operating and a lot of great stuff going on base. But yeah, if it's anything else you want to share, then we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, my main thing is just trying to bring people into into the framework where they have the understanding and knowledge for them to be able to make decisions themselves on how they want to go forward. Like I was talking to Sway Calloway, Sway Calloway, I think his name is the what is his name? He's a radio announcer with Eric Bellinger this week, and just talking to them about blockchain and stuff like that, just getting them more comfortable with having the conversation and being involved with people like me in general. Like I've done things for like Art Basel for the last like 5 years, where we go out there and do suicide prevention. Well, 4 years with a few groups, like what's his name, Jaru, and a few different artists and stuff like that. But the main focus is really, trying to get people who are not necessarily um, focused or even looking at blockchain technology as a way for sovereignty to be able to be achieved. So, like when I was at Eric Bellinger's little event, like there's a lot of people who are in tune to the music side of what's going on, like with uh, what's his name, Jose and everything. I mean, I've been around Jose for a while, so I missed the Token Smart event in general, but bringing people, like into those forums and stuff like that, or just having people have the knowledge for them to be able to, participate is something I've been doing in general on the ground floor, really, and just kind of getting to people, as close as possible. So mainly like one-on-one situations, like the different events that are around. Like I'll be doing something for LA. I mean, yeah, LA Tech Week. But before that is Glendale Tech Week. This September 2nd with a security blockchain and AZOS, which is a green energy stable token, and the release is on the second. I guess I could drop um like they're doing beta testing right now if anybody would like to care about anything like that. But I could drop any link that's okay in the chat and all. And I mean, yeah, I guess that's it.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing, Time. It's very interesting to hear more details and really cool stuff you're up to. Feel free to share any links in the Zoom chat as well as also in the Telegram chat too. If you share in the Telegram chat, then people can see it more, after the event. But feel free to share it in both or either one of those places. And Tadas, I saw you had your hand uh, up. Is that your comment that you shared in the comment there?
Yeah, I thought you can go now. Then I can guess I can ask that. Yeah, it's that question. So
Okay.
you can respond in the chat, or we can.
Okay. Well, this is a little juicy too. So maybe so people can know because I don't know if he said I didn't hear him say, but Tadas was wondering if he said Albedo. I don't know if you're familiar with Tadas as a project, or he had a project. I don't know if he's still doing it at all, but he had a project called Albedo that it's related to the light behind him, actually. Albedo is a type of light, I believe. Or like I don't remember the exact definition, is a light, and Tadas had a cool blockchain project, but time is putting a question mark, so he said question mark learning. So maybe you misheard that, Tadas, I don't know. And maybe I'll go ahead. Maybe Tadas misheard it. Tadas wants to hear Albedo somewhere, I guess. Okay, so what I do this week, I started up a new project called Albedo. Like,
Now you know how to get me to listen.
yeah, right. If that's ever tuning out. Albedo, 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 firmament, albedo, ORDAO. Okay, I will now go ahead and share what I've been doing. I did look at the Albedo page a little bit because I was working a little bit on the curating some old stuff for Eden Plus Fractal, so maybe that can provide a bit uh, of a segue. Um, Oh, and that's actually another contribution that I had that I totally forgot about. Okay, so here's what I did this week, and actually the past 3 weeks or so since we last met. So, one, I put together this, might I say, nice um, post and little picture that I updated there a little bit, along with, welcome everybody back and sharing updates from the break and the Eden Fractal plus Fractal consensus process and open discussion, kind of organizing the agenda for Eden Town Hall. So, I did that and welcome everybody back, but I already showed that already. I also put together this article in the Eden Fractal blog. I figured since we're re-implementing the Eden plus Fractal consensus process, it's helpful to have this resource where people could see it. And we have some old resources like on the Eden creators site, but it's kind of outdated. And so I felt like it could use a refresher. Or it's more sort of like historical, basically. But now that we're reintroducing Eden plus Fractal for Epoch 2 in 2025, I wanted to have a new article where people could understand what Eden Plus Fractal is and have an understanding of how it works within fractal democracy and stuff because it wasn't really like that in the previous article. I did curate a lot of pictures here and give an overview of the flow, so it's like very clear for everybody how it works. And then it links some recent discussions and how it fits in with tripartite governance. So lots of new stuff that we had previously had, as well as a kind of an overview of benefits and like why you'd want to become a delegate and stuff like that. I responded to Sebastian, who expressed an interest in playing a role in some sort of opportunity with Eden Fractal. And so I was partially thinking about him when I was writing that too. And I curated this older episode of Creator Talk. That's actually why I was looking at Albedo stuff. I actually had to fix this website because it was kind of like broken. It's still a bit messed up, but this is the original video with Tadas, where I did an interview in a podcast I started called Creator Talk. So this wasn't a huge contribution this week, but I just fixed this and I found the Albedo link as I was doing that. But I think this was a pretty good contribution. I curated some of the recent discussions we had leading up to the Eden Plus Fractal implementation process, and then kind of wrapped it up and invited people to join. There's also an FAQ and like a brief area of like some draft specifications too. So I started putting together those questions there too. But I can't find the FAQ right now, so I'll find it later. And then this I also updated with Tadas along the way too. I responded to some comments from Rosemary. She left some comments here. And then I also responded to a bunch of comments with Tadas, and we went back and forth with quite a bit of detail too. We'll go into that probably more during the town hall. So trying to figure out the best way to organize this consensus process and so forth. And then, yeah, I put together this implementation plan, I should say, to help guide us through the implementation of Eden Plus Fractal. So it starts with an overview again, but then it goes into like how will we actually choose delegates, and will we post this on chain, and how we'll work with bi-weekly events and stuff. And I proposed a workaround which just liked, and we're gonna do something similar to that. So there's also some specifications, stuff like that. So basically went over like basically things that I thought would be helpful for us to implement it smoothly for this week. And then I put together this agenda too that can help guide us to for this week's, and with some key questions and stuff like that. In addition, a few weeks ago, I finalized the research of the Optimism Fractal Respect Game research into democratic fund distribution for the research mission that was granted by the Optimism Collective. There's now a legal and compliance framework for democratic fund distribution through the Respect Game. It's quite long, quite detailed. It goes into legal structure and entity and jurisdictional analysis and identity verification and privacy preservation and fund distribution mechanisms and compliance framework and risk management and participant agreements and governance integration and implementation roadmap and next steps. So for context, this is all part of this fund distribution, figuring out the best ways to distribute funds in a decentralized and democratic and compliant way via the Respect Game at Optimism Fractal, but also being used at Eden Fractal or other communities too. And so this really goes into the ideas of starting nonprofits, starting Dunas, and different things like that. I had to rush this one a little bit because I didn't have that much time. So there's some things I would write differently, but there's a lot of information here, so it can serve as at least a starting point. And I've been learning a lot about creating a nonprofit for Eden Fractal and how this kind of system could work too. So that's now available. And I also published a kind of a wrap-up post to completing the journey reflections on democratic fund distribution through the Respect Game, where it shows kind of it kind of wraps it all together with the prior deliverables, with the governance and technical architecture and role-based allocation system and user design experience and stuff like that, and the gamified interface. So published that, and I also helped out Orlando along with Tadas in doing some of his research projects, shared some comments and some feedback on the research he's doing. I hosted the most recent Eden Town Hall, which was Eden Town Hall number 60. And then I've been doing a lot of research into Ethereum and what's going on with the United States government and all these different things. Lots of podcasts I've been listening to over the break. And then finally, I joined and co-hosted the Fractal Impact Concert. I gave a little presentation for like maybe 10 minutes or so. I put together a presentation about fractal governance and so forth. There was probably like 15 people, 20 people there for a lot of the events. So it was a really cool event. And so I supported it and coordinated with Easy and Zaal and Jose and everybody there. And then I gave a little presentation and shared some thoughts along the way too. So that is it for me. And I see Time shared the September 2nd in Glendale Lumen link. Thanks for sharing that. And good segue. Thank you. And Zal said he'd love to get a link to that discussion on legal entities and more. Yeah, sure. I'll share the research document in the chat. And then we could also discuss more of it during the town hall if we'd like. That's something that I've been planning to create and start up for a while. So I'm glad that the research for the Optimism Collective is done now. So hopefully it'll be helpful for you and many others as we work towards implementing these kinds of legal entities to support the Fractal ecosystem. If anybody has any other thoughts or questions for each other, then feel free. Thanks, Zal, and thanks everybody for the feedback on mine. Sorry if I went a bit long. And if anybody, yeah, I don't know, Tadas, if you want to, up, Tadas already is ahead of me. Albedo. So everybody can now join the Telegram group. Maybe if I say Albedo more often, Tadas will just go ahead and create the Fractogram group faster. Maybe I'm learning something here. Just kidding, obviously.
It's like a special call, and you call Albedo, and I arrive and fix everything.
Yeah. I like this idea. I think we should. I think we should continue with this implementation. Okay. Well, yeah. If anybody has any questions or comments, then feel free to share. And now we can start to reach consensus, but everybody's ready to. Encourage everybody to join the Telegram group that Tadas just shared in the Zoom chat, and get ready with your Ethereum/base account. or public key address, and then paste that in there, or get ready to paste that in there once Tadas puts up the prompt. But for now, we're waiting for, I believe, Zaal and Timed to join the Telegram group. GM.
Timed. Can you hear us? Can you join the Telegram group? Which I posted in the chat.
Yeah, we're waiting for you, Tom, whenever you get a chance. Also, thanks to Tadas for sharing the link to my research document in response to Zaal's comment in the chat. Tom, can you hear us? I suppose maybe I had to walk away or something.
He responded. He just responded in the chat.
Okay, cool.
So, and if you can let us know if you can join or if what the problem is.
He said it was not letting him join. He uses other devices. Oh, and now I see trademark.
Trademark.
And that looks like Time's I see the buffercorn, which I think that Time sometimes uses.
Okay. So please reply with your accounts.
Okay, and we're waiting for, I believe, Eric and Time to share their accounts in the Telegram chat.
Okay, we have Eric's account, and here we have Time. So Timed, if you can post your account as a reply to the original message, like others did. Meanwhile, we can still start. Yeah, thank you. Can start voting.
All right, so we can now vote for level 6, which is who you think did the most to contribute to Eden Fractal and Eden Fractal's mission, supporting Fractal ecosystem and so forth, based on the presentations you heard.
I vote for Dan because I think that research regarding legal framework must have been gathered a lot of information and a lot of work, and also he took the initiative with intermediate solution for Eden Plus Fractal, which we will use today.
Thank you, Tadas. I voted for Eric because I think I think Eric didn't get all that much respect for supporting Abraham to build the better app. I think maybe he got level 5 a couple times and stuff like that. But I was just thinking last time that he deserved a level 6 for that at some point. So I also did a lot too. So I'm happy to get respect. But I see now somebody voted for Eric too. So we'd be happy if we want to vote for Eric at level 6. You can change your vote trademark timed if you want to right click. Well, depending on if you're on a phone, then you hold press down, or if you're on a computer, then you right click and then you hit the retract vote button, and then you can switch to somebody else.
So I switched my vote to Eric. Good argument then.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that last time I was in the room with Eric. I was like, I don't know. Eric did a great contribution there, in addition to the other stuff he's doing with like organizing and getting prepared for this larger launch. But that was a great contribution, and I remembered. So thanks, Eric, for doing that. And right now we don't have consensus though. We would need somebody to change their vote. Right now, Eric has 3 votes, and I have 1, and Time has 1. So, oh, it looks like people changed their votes though. So, okay. We have consensus now on Eric for level 6. Much respect to you. And now we'll reach consensus on level 5. Oops.
Dan loved how the vote is going so fast.
Yeah, I love it. Let me just do a little of this here. That's how I feel about this vote right now. All right, so I get level 5. Thanks everybody for the respect. I appreciate it. And it looks like we have Zaal level 4.
Yep.
Zal says, thanks, King. Welcome, Zal. Thanks for holding the torch, hosting the Fractal events during our break, and also helping to contribute to Fractal Impact Concert too. Special thanks for that, as well as all your research and planning for the space. And it looks like we're missing a vote from Eric for level 3. Make sure you're careful, Eric. It looks like you might be in a car. Okay. So we got the consensus on Tadas at level 3, which means that we'll have consensus on time at level 2, timed. So, which means that we've reached consensus. And we've had another successful respect game. And Time says thank you and has a melting happy face over here. I think that's a good thing. Oh, and now I forgot. There's a new thing that we're doing here. I was about to close it up and call it a day, but no. Now we have to reach a delegate. We have to reach a delegate. Yeah, I know what I'm doing here. We have to elect a delegate for our group. We have to reach consensus on who will be the delegate for the group for this week. Been
Dan,
a
you're
while.
nervous?
What's that?
You're nervous?
I'm nervous. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've played Eden Plus Fractal. I don't know how it's gonna go over here. Make me blush. Okay, so as a quick recap, so thanks for the question. Time asked, what is this for? So what this is for basically is electing a delegate who will act basically as a counselor, as a decision maker for the Eden Fractal community going forward, playing a key role in our legislative consensus process. So maybe I'll just really quickly share my screen again just to give like a brief highlight of this, just in case I already gave an overview of it, but maybe it is helpful and I can kind of go over like what they do in a little bit. So edenpractal.com/plus. Won't go over the whole article here, but basically this is like a way that we practice fractal democracy. It's a way that we've done quite a bit. In the past, we did it for over a year at Eden Fractal in the past, and it's worked out quite well. This is a way that we can form consensus as a community by electing delegates at each event. After we play the respect game, we elect a delegate who will participate in a council, basically. So you could see here, this is what I showed before. Basically, each person who's a delegate, there will be in a council for both the current week as well as the next 3 events. So that's like the next, I suppose, 6 or 8 weeks. I suppose 8 weeks total when you consider this week, and then there'll be 4 more events, which is on a bi-weekly basis. So you can become a delegate, serve in one of these councils, and then basically the way it will work is that 3 out of 4 councils will need to agree on something in order for a proposal to be officially approved by the Eden Fractal community. This is also different than the ORDAO, which is the on-chain executive branch. This is the legislative branch. So they work together in what we call the tripartite governance structure, which you can learn more about in the article as well. So there's a couple different types of proposals, but this is like an important role. You can kind of think of it like I said, like a bicameral or a tricameral system where the delegates are the people who are making decisions, talking about things that need to be done. Of course, everybody can talk about things that need to be done, and also everybody can make their own decisions. But in terms of the Eden Fractal community collectively making decisions, the delegates have a special role to serve in these councils, and that is the official legislative process of the Eden Fractal community that we're using. So to become a delegate, basically, we ask that everyone who could join, we strongly recommend that everyone who can join can attend all the Eden Fractal, the Eden Town Hall events over the next 2 months, which will be the next 4 events. And then generally we'll review proposals between events. Maybe 1 to 2 hours per event, but sometimes there aren't any proposals, and participate in Telegram discussions about upcoming decisions if there are any, and generally just try to follow the progress of Eden Fractal and make helpful decisions for the Eden Fractal community. So that's a little overview of what a delegate does, and how it can help with personal growth, network building, direct impact, and so forth, and of all that basically. But that's basically what it is. Basically, we'll make decisions during the Eden Town Hall events after respect games, or at different times if it happens to be, and then they'll serve on the councils to help make decisions for the Eden Fractal community. I see Zaal said me. Oops, what happened there? The the window just popped up in front of my Zoom call, so I thought I just I thought Zoom dropped out or something like that, but we're good though. I see Zaal wrote amazing, very interesting. I've been toying with the idea of a council. Oh, that's cool. The ZAO Council. Okay, well, very nice. Um, so you could eventually use the Eden Plus Fractal process for the council. And so we have 3 votes now. So I suppose that answer all questions. So I haven't yet voted, and I think one other person hasn't yet voted. So everybody can vote for who they think should be part of the council now.
Yeah, so basically we want someone that could represent this room with breakout group, and as a result, this meeting.
I don't know. I don't think Dan knows enough info about it.
What's a fractal again, guys? With this respect stuff. Well, this Eden Fractal, it meets on Tuesdays at like 7 or something. I'm just joking. I'll be there on Tuesdays. Okay. Well, yeah, it looks like everybody voted for me. I voted for Tadas because I think Tadas would be a great delegate too, but I'm happy to accept the nomination, and I guess it's the nomination of me as a delegate. So I'm honored. I'm honored to serve as your delegate for this breakout group and this week's event of Eden Fractal, and I'll do my best to make decisions for the benefit of the group. I'll learn what a fractal is. I'll learn what a respect game is, and then I'll do all the research and follow with the Telegram group. And if anybody has any questions, then feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to represent the constituents of Eden Fractal to achieve our grand mission.
It sounds like you prepared for this acceptance speech.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to thank my parents, my grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, and Tadas and Eric and Tymed and Zaal. And now we can submit on chain. So we could submit. So the way we're doing it now is we're going to be posting our respect game consensus results that Tadas just shared the links for, where you see at the bottom it says results can be submitted here, and we're going to post our consensus results into the ORDAO application. So you can click that link where it says here and then log in and then submit, where you see the rankings of who got level 6 and 5 and so forth. And then me and Tadas, we came up with a way to use the ORDAO app or the Eden Fractal app to post our delegate nomination on chain as well. So maybe it should be helpful for me to bring that up on screen too, so I can guide people through the process. Because at some point in the future, we're going to work to make like a more kind of maybe cohesive experience where it's like all in one app or something. And we kind of have that right now a little bit, but it's kind of like a little bit still all over the place. Not all over the place, but it's just a little bit like right now we're kind of, because we're just bringing back the Eden plus Fractal process, we're kind of making do with what we have until we can further develop the experience and software and so forth. So I suppose I'll pull up my screen and then show everybody how we can do this exactly in just a moment.
Meanwhile, I'm creating the proposal.
All right.
Second.
Sounds good. Thank you, Tadas. And yeah, we are at the top of the hour, a couple minutes past. So thanks everybody for the great respect game. And if anybody does need to go, then you can feel free to any point. We appreciate you being here and look forward to seeing you next time. And we have another hour scheduled for the Eden Town Hall where we'll dive deeper into the Eden plus Fractal consensus process. We'll probably go through the documents for how we're implementing it, as well as maybe a quick recap about some cool things over the break, like Fractal Impact Concert, as well as just time for open discussion about fractals and fractal ecosystem. So we encourage you to stick around. We'd love to see you and hear from you if you have any thoughts or questions you'd like to share during the Eden Town Hall. And we'll start that momentarily after we get this these consensus results and delegation nomination on chain. And if anybody has any questions about Eden Plus Fractal as well, I'm happy to go over it in a more happy to answer any questions or go over in more detail as well. Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and share my screen here. So you can all see how we're planning to post consensus on chain. So this is the Eden Fractal app, the ORDAO app, where we post the results from the respect game. You can see Eric and me and Zaal and everybody's accounts over there, along with meeting number 126. And then this is a post from Tadas that he shared in the Eden Fractal Telegram group today. So basically, I believe he's making a proposal right now, and he's going to share us the link with it. So he's going to kind of pre-generate it, but this is how we're going to use. This is basically how we're going to elect a delegate on chain, so we can remember who is the delegate from this week. So I can truly be so I can truly be the delegate. Nobody will forget, and so other people can also be delegates in the future as well, and nobody will forget or get confused. But mostly, just kidding. But yeah, basically, there's this other functionality in the Eden Fractal app where you go to new proposal. This is what Tadas is doing, so nobody else needs to do this, but just so people can see, Tadas has built a custom signal function or functionality into the Eden Fractal app. So if you go to proposals and you go to custom signal, then basically this can emit an event signal or a signal event from the override contract. So a signal event is an event that goes on chain. It gets posted onto base, which gets wrapped up onto Ethereum. So Tadas and I had discussed a little bit before we met for today's event about how the best way to post this on chain is, and this is what we came up with. Well, this is what Tadas came up with after I came up with an idea, and then he improved upon it. So basically, he's going to put in a proposal description with the title that's elect delegate from group number, group number 126, meeting number, and I suppose meeting number is the breakout room number. So in our case, that'll be meeting number 1. If there is more breakout rooms, like sometimes we have 2, or sometimes we've had 3 or 4 breakout rooms at Eden Fractal, or potentially we could have a big day and there could be 100 breakout rooms one day. In that case, Eden Fractal or Eden Plus Fractal can still scale up, like kind of infinitely in a way. I don't know about infinitely, but like pretty long, or like quite a lot. That's one of the benefits I listed here about being scalability without sacrifice. Basically, you just have more counselors or more delegates per council, basically, if you had more people. So in this case, there'll only be one delegate in the council, which will be me, because we only had one breakout room. But if we had, say, 10 breakout rooms, then it'd be 10 counselors. And that would be in that week's council, basically. And then you need two-thirds of them to vote on something in order for that council to approve something. And you need three out of four of all of these weekly councils or bi-weekly councils to approve something in full. And so this custom signal where Das is writing, or he might have shared it already, he's writing elect delegate from, say, group. Oh no, I just made the mistake there. And so it's group number one is for today, or if we had 100 groups or two groups, whatever, that'd be group number two, group number 100 or whatever, and then meeting number 126. I made a little mistake before. And then he's including the Ethereum address and the Telegram handle of the delegate, and then just a couple kind of like logistical things. The signal type field is kind of just like showing this is showing number two is a type of signal. So it's just like basically all delegate elections will have signal number two, and then the data 0x just means empty data. We might come up with some different system here in the future. We talked about using snapshot or something else, but this is a way that we can use the ORDAO software to elect a delegate on chain, and then that can serve our needs for the time being, and then we can always change it later, yeah, if we decide.
Yeah, so I created the proposal, shared it in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just need to vote yes on it. Ideally, everyone in the breakout room would vote yes, but this is just a uh, signal. So I mean, it's Dan will still be a delegate if somebody does not vote.
Woohoo! Let's see, timer. Gotta go. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Have a safe Labor Day. Labor Day is coming up. Okay, yeah, and so now you can see Tadas made it easy for us. We don't have to write any of that stuff because he wrote it all in there. So all we can do is just hit the yes button to confirm your delegate election on chain. And then we'll have a delegate elected on chain. Also, one other thing that might be worth mentioning too is that this Eden Plus Fractal process has a kind of a boot up stage too. So even though I'm the only delegate right now and the only counselor, I can't make unilateral decisions, like basically within the Eden Plus Fractal consensus process, like because there's a boot up process basically. So um, like basically according to the rules of Eden Plus Fractal, um, you need to have four councils in operation. So there's going to be this boot up period where we just setting up the first council, and then the next event we'll set the second council, and then the third council. So I think it will be three more events or two more events after this one before we could formally approve a proposal with the Eden Plus Fractal. Of course, we could still, make other kinds of decisions, but formally, according to this consensus process, there'll be a 6-week boot up process. And if everybody's ready, I think that we could probably get to starting up the town hall, and we can have some discussions about this. I know it's also there's just three of us, and I know it's late there to us. So if we wanted, we could also just call it and not do town hall. But I think the town hall would still be useful though if you're up for it. And of course, it's scheduled and it's on schedule. But I just know Eric was driving and it's late for Tadas. So if preferred, we could not do it. But I think it's probably good if you guys are up for it. And I do have an agenda ready to go. And for some reason, I'm winning a spinning wheel here, so I'll have to diagnose why it's taking me a little time here. Why it's not submitting. I've had a couple issues with that with my phone. You look like you're deep in thought to us.
Yeah, considering if I have energy and if it's worth it. Uh,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
if it's useful, if you want, I can also go ahead and give a presentation. We can also do a short town hall too. Like, because it might be helpful just if I give a presentation for the video purpose where I kind of introduce it, just in one video. That way we have that because I kind of gave an overview here, so it would be a bit repetitive, but also at the same time, I don't know, it might be helpful to have a video just about Eden plus Fractal in this process. And um, so if you wanted, you could like turn your camera off and go do stuff away from the camera while I did that. That's an option. Or I don't know if Eric, you have any thoughts that you want to share about either, stuff that's on the agenda, or if you had other things in mind, please let us know if there's anything you'd like to discuss here at Eden Town Hall. Or I know Zaal has been hopping in and out too, so it seems like maybe he had some internet issues, but he might join back. I know he was interested to share some ideas about the fractal X spaces and stuff like that. And then also we do have, I don't know where I think I forgot to pull up the proper window. But there was several things. If you're up for Tadas, either now or another time, like there's all this implementation plan stuff. We could just figure out over the week. I haven't had a chance to read your most recent message. So I could read that over, over the next week or something like that and just follow up in text, or could read it now. And I don't know, or could just keep it more like high level as well. Um, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think I will go because I've been quite tired lately, and yeah, I think regarding legislative consensus process and then the app for it, the long-term solution, uh, yeah, I think right now I need to organize my thoughts about it, and then I think we will have a more productive discussion later. And yeah, meanwhile you can read what I already wrote.
Okay, sounds good. Um, yeah, so I agree having it. We already talked about quite a bit in the chat today in the Notion comments, so thanks for sharing all those comments, and that'll give us both more time to digest it, and then we can come in with kind of more preparation. And then as far as the introduction of the process, I don't know. I suppose we could just refer people to this video. I mean, I could redo that, but I kind of did a lot of it already too. And people can have the article where they can just see the how it works, as well as people can watch this video and they would kind of see it in practice as well, rather than just me or other people talking about it. Um, I'll ask again if Eric has any questions or comments or like that. So I'll say if you just want to get going, then feel free at any time. I don't want to hold you up from getting to sleep. But I'm also happy to wrap it up rather than doing a town hall because then we won't have to produce another video too. So I'm happy to stick around, Eric, and talk about stuff, and we can make a town hall together if you want, or we can just wrap it up early as well.
Well, I've got about 15 minutes. I'm happy to chat always for that.
Okay, sounds good. Well, do you prefer to chat like in the context of a town hall where we'll record it and publish it, or just keep it going at the Eden
Just,
Fractal, or do you prefer just like an offline conversation, or?
yeah, let's just chat.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'd like to chat with you too. So maybe what we'll do is we'll sign off. We'll say go Eden Fractal, and then I'll keep the Zoom room up, and then we can just have a conversation. Um, and then we'll skip the town hall for this week, and then we'll plan to discuss more about the Eden Plus Fractal process in the next town hall. That sounding good?
Sure.
Okay, sounds good. Well, if anybody has any last comments, then feel free. But otherwise, we hope to see you at Optimism Fractal returning on, I believe it's Thursday, September 4th at 17 UTC. So we'll be returning for the seventh event of the Optimism Fractal season, the second half of the season, where we're really excited to continue playing respect games on the super chain and drawing the super chain and optimism with Optimism Fractal. And we also look forward to seeing you at Eden Fractal in 2 weeks from now, somewhere around September 11th, September 10th, 17 UTC for the Eden Fractal Respect game. We're also considering potentially having Eden Town Halls at a different time, like at 16 UTC rather than 18 UTC. That way it's not so late for people in Europe. So stay tuned for that kind of proposal in the future. And of course, feel free to share any messages in the Eden Fractal chat, t.me/edenfractal.the-week. You can register for all of our events at lou.mastersoptimistics, and we hope to hear from you. Tadas, Eric, if you have any final comments for the recording, then feel free to share. And if not, or whenever we're ready, we can count down 3, 2, 1 and go Eden Fractal.
Ready.
Albedo. Albedo. By the way, I just want to put it on record. I think that albedo is like a cool word. I think we should start saying that more often because I thought it was really cool when I first learned about albedo. When I first was like reading, I think during albedo you kept like maybe it was Firmament, but you had like a Git page where you like where you kept an update of all your progress. And I remember reading that. I think it was really cool. And then I learned about the meaning of Firmament and albedo. I don't know where you came up with those words. But they're like really cool words. And then Albedo, in particular, in addition to have a cool meaning, it also just had a cool ring to it too, like Albedo. Yeah, Albedo. So maybe we can bring it up to a slang thing, and then like all like the 18-year-olds will be like Albedo and Albedo.
I have a feeling it will come back soon.
Oh,
Well,
all
not
right.
soon. Sorry, didn't mean soon, but someday. Okay.
Okay. Well, I would like that very much. Anybody can check out edencreators.com/albedo if you want to see some resources and learn more about the Albedo project. And then you can find links to Tadas's original white paper for Albedo there too. All right. So I think Tadas was ready to wrap it up. I think Eric was too. So if you guys want to join me, I'll go and count down now. 3, 2, 1. Go Eden
Oh,
Fractal and go Albedo. All right. Thanks to Dawson. See you later. And thanks, Eric. Thanks. Big shout out to Zaal and Tymed and everybody who watched today and joined us. Hope to see you next time. See ya.